it's Jacqie Crafty. We are celebrating Rebecca and her 500 subbies. So excited for her. There's going to be an awesome hop put on by the Scrapping Inspirations YouTube and Instagram hop ladies and people. So that's all of us. So see everybody else who's playing along down below. But make sure, if you haven't actually subscribed to Rebecca, you go do it. Let's get her more, right? So I'm going to actually play with, I'm going to scrapbook this beautiful photo of my niece from the beginning of the year, and then I'm actually going to play with some Citrus Twist stuff. They had some new releases at the very beginning of the year. I haven't even touched it, but I thought based on this layout that I'm going to lift of Rebecca's, a lot of this would work really, really well, and I might even just be able to layer up all these tickets and things. I might not even need this paper, but I did pull in, I've got like a bag of some Chamel that I have from random other collections, nothing like specific, but ones that I had which have some very similar colors that I could easily layer up behind the photo. So we will see if we use any of that at all. I'm not sure what I want to do with the background yet. Oh yeah, I also pulled in this Color Cast Designs wood veneer as well, because I thought maybe some of them might be good because it was her New Year's Day photo. So let's get started. All right, so it turns out after I kind of went through that paper, it's actually all Head in the Clouds. So it is a very specific Chamel. It wasn't just random ones from different collections. It was all Head in the Clouds. So I ended up gravitating towards this diagonal stripe in like a turquoise, because there's a lot of turquoise in the Citrus Twist elements. And then also I had a few scraps of this dark blue and polka dot paper. So first thing I decided I want to do is kind of create my areas, create my sections of where I'm going to be doing all this layering. So I'm using this, my favorite things, it's like a shape stencil. What do they call it? I feel like they call it a masking stencil or something like that. Something like that. This one's called Rectangle Extraordinaire. I have an oval one and then a square one as well. I need a circle one. That's what I need. But I decided to take this and take some fossilized amber, because it was very similar to some of the yellows in the Citrus Twist stuff. The embellishments, I should say, in the ephemera, in the goodies that I have. And then I wanted to add just a little more color to the background, so then I decided to take some abandoned coral and go through another stencil. I believe this one is it's either Simple Stories or like an Echo Park or Cartabella. They're kind of all those 6x6, but it's like clouds and stars. And I just thought it would be good just to add some of that color in the background. Also another color that's in a lot of the Citrus Twist items that I have. And then we're going to start layering. First, I'm going to decide I need a little bit of splattering or blue on the background as well. Well, okay, actually first. So they included a little pocket card that they wrote a little note on, but it was like the perfect little turquoise color. So I'm going to cut that up, and then I'm going to cut this branding strip up that was actually on the paper of the background that I'm going to use. And then I'm just going to cut, and I'm going to cut them just in random, but not measuring, just cutting. And then same thing with this scrap of this dark blue polka dot lined paper. And then I'm just going to kind of randomly layer it up. And even just after doing this, so layering up the photo with those few things and then deciding to add the layers to each of the corners, even that, I was like, ooh, I love this. It was looking very Saved by the Bell graphic, if you know what I mean, like obscure squares and shapes that weren't quite square, and bright, pretty colors. I don't know. It gave me a really good, happy vibe, and I'm really liking the way it's looking already. But I'm excited to add in all the fun bits from Citrus Twist. And after I did this is when I decided, all right, we need a little splattering, a little of the deep blue in there too. So I grabbed my Shimmers Spritz Rockefeller Blues, and I actually just spritzed it, and then I'm gonna go ahead and splatter some on there as well. And you saw me do the whoops on that upper right side. Made a streak, so I added some more down to the left, just even now. So while that dries, which will not take long, but is wet just enough that I didn't want to be like moving things around. But while that dries, I'm just going to start opening all the packs and start layering the things. And I'm kind of animal retention in the way that if I don't have like a container to put all of it in together, I want to keep it separate. Just because I don't know. I don't know why. It all goes together. It all mixes together. So I don't know why I want to keep it separate. So that's why I've created piles. You can see I've created a pile up top and a pile to the left. But I'm just going to start grabbing things that really catch my eye and layering them in. And it took maybe like, I think my full recording said 52 minutes from start to finish, which is not that long, but a long time to have been just doing this, to be layering things up. And now the giant yellow rectangle we put in the center of the page, you hardly see it all. You see a little bit peeking out. But that, I mean, it wasn't put there to be standing out a ton. And it was put there just as kind of a peeking through type thing anyway. So that being said. So I'm finding things. So I'm finding this ticket that says hello on the top and tucking that in on the left. I'm finding the yellow ticket with the star that has a date. It says date on it. I'm tucking florals here and there, some pink leaves. Be healthy, drink milk. I figured it was perfect because she's nursing. I really like, I can't see what I'm doing on this tiny, tiny screen. Let me see if I can flip it. And at first I wasn't going to glue anything down, but I was starting to really like the way it looked. But I really liked that other ticket that looks like notebook paper and it says happy in that yellow. And the so loved then down in the bottom right-hand corner of it. Really like that. I'm just tucking and putting flowers and bits. And then I start going in, getting some dimension on things and adding leaves here and there. And now I'm really happy with the majority of it. So I'm going to stick it on. I will still add more stuff. I promise. I keep adding and adding and adding. And I felt like I was at the point, not on the background, that I was like, I need to get this on the background because I'm making it huge. And I could have just kept going. And it's because I wanted some of that yellow and all that stenciling I did to peek out. And so it kind of does, but I kind of went overboard, but in a good way. I feel like I love it. I love this layout. It makes me very, very happy. So to cover up part of the gap and to get some floral up in the upper right or upper left, I'm going to put a floral up there and tuck a leaf. And then I'm doing a cluster down on the bottom as well. And it's just playing. And sometimes I feel like you need this. And I'm so glad Rebecca's layout looks the way it does because I don't feel like I would have just played otherwise. I did cut out a few times where I futzed around with something like over and over and over and over again until I got where I wanted it to, just because it was getting a little redundant. I didn't want you guys to have to sit here and watch me futz and futz and futz. But I'm popping up some of the branches that are in there and putting that. So I've got, have I pulled out the puffies yet? I don't think so. I'm still working on the ephemera. So now I finally put down those wood veneer pieces that I kind of picked out. The one on the upper left, Little Moments, and the one on the bottom right is going to be Comfy Cozy. And I'm trying to figure out where to put this stinking pink flower. I end up putting it on the bottom. And I kind of inadvertently have a small, medium, large cluster. I don't know if you guys have heard Laura Albert talk about the Goldilocks cluster technique, because my upper left one is the small, my medium is the lower right, and then my large one is the giant one in the center with the child. But yeah, just gluing things down. Decided, oh my gosh, if I don't get any of this chip order on, I'm going to be really sad. So I pick out just a few things, not too many, and a couple puffy stickers. I pick out I love this. I'm going to put below the photo, and I pick out a worthwhile. I don't know why I picked that one, but just to bring some purple down to the bottom right. And then I add a puffy that says photo love, and I actually put it on the photo. And then on my Heart is Full ephemera, I stick on top of the photo. And yeah, I just played, and it was lots of fun tucking. And then some of the corners just felt like there was weird gaps. And so I went back, another thing I also cut out that you're also going to see, I decided to start like picking up and putting all the clusters back in the bags, and that was tedious work. So I skipped that. As you can see, the giant pile to the right is gone. I started putting all those away, and in the meantime, putting those away, I decided to pull up this yellow flower and then that bigger leaf, which I'm so glad I did because there were some weird gaps. So I'm like, well, let's reduce what I'm looking at because then maybe it'll make me focus on what I want there. So I got that gap taken care of, and now I think there's a lower left gap that I still need to take care of. So I'm going to find the little, it reminds me of the little tabs at like Joann's when you're going to go get fabric cut and you pull on the thing. It has a number 1, and I end up using the number 2 and the number 3 as well, so that each cluster has one of them. And I'm trying to get something on the upper left corner as I'm putting that one away. And I like this pink, but it's too big. It's too big. And I'm like, I don't need that much pink up there. I feel like it really drew your eye up there when all that pink was up there. So I tucked all that away, and now I'm going to start tucking the top cluster away. And I'm finding things. Yeah, that was just little bits of me finding things while I was tucking those 3 giant embellishment packs away. I'm finally tucking that number 3 down there. And I like that. It was just like a little strip with some hearts on it, but I'm like, no, there's too many strips up there. I need something else. So I end up finding actually a little banner that says, "What a view," which is perfect. So that ends up finishing off the upper left. And then of course we haven't even touched the puffy stickers. Oh yeah, and I did find randomly too, as I was putting things away, this handle with care that I stuck on the bottom. I was like, there needs to be a little bit more on the bottom. So I'm just filling the gaps where I feel like there's gaps that shouldn't be as big as they are. So I tucked that little banner up on the left, upper left, and now I'm finally deciding, okay, that's enough of the chipboard, that's enough of those other puffies, let's do puffy hearts. So I got to sprinkle those around, and I'm going to do that right after I write the date, which was just January 1st of this year. And then I'm going to go ahead. Well, first I'm going to do the title. I forgot. And I'm actually just going to put it on that ticket. I wanted to do New Year, New Do because that is what her mom said to us in her message when she sent us this picture. And this was her first ponytail on January 1st. So cute. It was just perfect. So I put it actually on that ticket. So it actually says Happy New Year and then New Do. And then so loved, love this. Like you can read it however you want, but it does say Happy New Year, New Do. So I kind of like that. So I will have some close-ups here in a second. Make sure you check out everybody else who's playing along. Scraplifting lovely Rebecca. We are so happy for her. So excited. So excited to be on the design team with her as well. I hope you guys enjoy and come back for more. Subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you very much. I appreciate all of you. Bye.